Chosen one, this is not coincidence, this is divine appointment. Heaven has aligned your steps to this very moment because the Spirit of God has something to release into your life. You didn't just stumble upon this message, you were summoned by heaven's timing. The delay you've endured, the pressure you've felt, the silence that's tested your faith, it's all been preparation. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough, a divine wealth transfer, and the gates of abundance are beginning to open. The Lord says in Deuteronomy 8:18, "It is He who gives you power to get wealth." This isn't just about money, it's about mantle, mission, and manifestation. What's coming will confirm your calling. Anointed one, the attacks you've faced were never random. They were proof that something sacred was being formed. The enemy fought you hardest right before release, but you have been preserved for purpose. So still your spirit, open your heart. What's about to be spoken will stir faith, unlock favor, and shift atmospheres around you. Heaven has decreed, this is your appointed time. Stay until the end, because before this message finishes, something in your life will begin to move. Chosen one, lean in closely, because this isn't just another message, it's a divine interruption. Heaven has stepped into your timeline, and whether you realize it or not, something is shifting even as you listen. I sense it so strongly. You are standing on the edge of something holy, something long promised but fiercely resisted. You've been through delay, disappointment, and silence, but none of it was wasted. The very battles that tried to break you were the soil God used to anchor your roots. This is not a coincidence. You didn't stumble here. This is divine alignment. Heaven has been orchestrating this moment, preparing you for a transfer, a supernatural promotion, a release of what's been stored up for your obedience. I know what it's like to feel like you're holding on by a thread, to question if you misheard God, if you missed a step, if the promise somehow expired. I've been there, praying over empty accounts, believing through tears, trusting when the silence of heaven felt heavier than words. But, chosen one, I can tell you this from experience. The silence was never absence, it was strategy. You see, the enemy has been whispering that it's over, that this connection, this dream, this mission has run its course. But heaven disagrees. What looks stagnant in the natural is alive in the spirit. God's not finished. He's preparing to transfer something into your hands that will change everything. And yes, it may come through that very person you've been tempted to give up on. You feel their absence, their silence, their distance, but that's not random. There's a shaking taking place in both of your lives, an invisible recalibration of hearts and callings. This isn't punishment, it's positioning. God is preparing both of you for divine use, not emotional comfort. When you finally come into alignment, it won't just bring peace, it will unlock provision, destiny, and divine movement. I've learned this truth the hard way. Some of the greatest blessings in my life came disguised as seasons of confusion. There were people I wanted to walk away from, relationships I thought were over, but the Spirit whispered, "Wait." And when I obeyed, when I prayed instead of fleeing, heaven unfolded something I couldn't have orchestrated myself. Chosen one, you are in that same divine tension. Heaven is testing not your emotions, but your endurance. The pressure you feel isn't meant to destroy you. It's proof of what's about to be born. Something sacred is being formed in the unseen. God is refining you through restraint. He's teaching you to war in silence, to trust in stillness, to believe without evidence, because what's coming next isn't small. When this door opens, and it will carry financial restoration, relational healing, and spiritual power. It's not just one blessing, it's a chain reaction of favor. But heaven will not release it until your heart is ready to hold it. That's why you've been in delay. That's why the connection has been tested. That's why you've been pushed to your limits. Because this time, what God gives you won't just bless you, it will sustain others through you. Chosen one, hear this in your spirit. God is about to prove that every tear was an investment, every delay was protection, and every disappointment was redirection. Don't quit now. Don't walk away from what's being built in secret. You are closer than you think, not just to reconciliation, but to revelation. Heaven is aligning everything, and your obedience is unlocking the transfer. Take a deep breath and settle this in your heart. This is not the end. This is the turning point. Chosen one, listen carefully. This is the part the enemy never wanted you to understand. The warfare around you hasn't been random, it's been targeted. The confusion, the misunderstandings, the silence from that person, it all intensified the moment you got close to breakthrough. That's because when two souls walk in divine agreement, they become dangerous to darkness. The enemy fears what will happen if you both rise in unity. He fears the transfer of power, influence, and authority that heaven has already decreed over your lives. I know it feels like the connection is unraveling, like the weight of miscommunication and distance is too heavy to bear. But this isn't about rejection, it's about realignment. God is stripping away ego, pride, and fear, because the next season demands spiritual maturity, not emotional reaction. You've prayed for destiny, but destiny always comes wrapped in discomfort. It purifies, it burns away what cannot go with you. There was a time in my own journey when I thought a certain connection was over. I told God, I'm done trying. But He whispered, you're not done, you're in training. And that changed everything. He showed me that the delay wasn't punishment, it was preparation. I wasn't waiting on them, I was waiting in Him. And when the season shifted, when the refining had done its work, what I thought was lost became a vessel for restoration and purpose. Anointed one, that's what's happening right now. You're not waiting for them to act. Heaven is waiting for you to ascend. The moment your spirit matures, the weight of this warfare will break. The test is not about love, it's about obedience. Will you trust God's voice over your emotions? Will you stay when everything in you wants to flee? Because right now, heaven is weighing your endurance. The harvest belongs to those who do not faint. You see, this person, the one God keeps bringing back to your heart, they carry something connected to your assignment. Their life intersects yours for a reason written before time. Their presence stirs something in your spirit because it's divine, not coincidental. That's why it hurts so deeply. That's why you can't simply walk away. It's not soul attachment, it's spiritual assignment. Don't let your frustration cause you to forfeit what God is trying to finish. The enemy knows that if he can exhaust your hope, he can interrupt your inheritance. But not this time. This time, you're aware. You've grown. You've discerned the pattern. You can now see that the tension isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of transition. Heaven shakes what must shift before it reveals what must stand. Chosen one, you are being refined for the supernatural transfer that's coming. The very hands that once trembled in waiting will soon carry what they prayed for. And when it happens, it won't be by your striving, it will be by your surrender. That's the mystery of divine elevation. You rise when you kneel. So guard your spirit. Don't speak words of defeat. Don't curse what God is still constructing. Instead, begin to bless that person in prayer. Cover them even when you don't understand them. Speak life over what feels lifeless, because your intercession is building what your emotions cannot sustain. Heaven moves at the sound of faith, not frustration. And hear this: when you choose peace instead of bitterness, you dismantle the enemy's blueprint. Every prayer you whisper is shaking realms you cannot see. Every time you refuse to give up, you're partnering with God's strategy. You're not losing control, you're gaining clarity. And soon, that clarity will become confirmation. So, stand firm, Anointed One. Hold your position. You are not forgotten. You are being fortified. The pressure you feel is not punishment. It's proof that heaven is investing in you. Something holy is on the verge of release, and this connection, this battle, is part of the key. Hold steady. Heaven is not finished. The breakthrough is already moving toward you. Chosen one, before the miracle manifests, there is always a moment of pressure that tests your faith to the core. That's where you are right now, at the edge of breakthrough, but also at the brink of surrender. Heaven is watching to see which voice you'll believe, the whisper of fear or the still small voice of purpose. You've been asking God, why does this connection hurt so much if you're in it? But the truth is, pain is not always punishment. Sometimes it's proof. Proof that what you carry is heavy with destiny. Proof that your spirit is being stretched to handle what's coming. The discomfort you feel is the divine hand of God enlarging your capacity for blessing. The enemy has studied you, Anointed One. He knows what you're called to build, and he knows this person, this connection, is part of the blueprint. That's why he's been attacking it with confusion, with miscommunication, with spiritual fatigue. But don't misread the resistance. Heaven isn't asking you to quit, it's asking you to see. When Joseph was betrayed, imprisoned, and forgotten, it wasn't evidence of failure, it was evidence of formation. God was preparing him for governance, for the stewardship of nations. And just like Joseph, your current silence is not abandonment, it's alignment. God is molding your character to match your calling. The transfer that's coming, whether financial, relational, or spiritual, demands stability, humility, and faith that doesn't break under pressure. And hear this: I've lived through the kind of waiting that feels endless. I've prayed through nights where I thought God had forgotten his promise. I've watched doors close that I thought were my destiny, only to realize later they were detours protecting me from premature promotion. And every single time, when I stayed, when I didn't give up, heaven honored it. The harvest didn't come instantly, but when it did, it carried evidence. Chosen one, God is not cruel. He's careful. He's not withholding your promise. He's preparing it. The connection you're fighting for may look fragile now, but that's only because it's being refined in fire. What emerges from this season will be unshakable. The same fire that exposed weakness will reveal gold. This is the moment where faith must mature. Emotion will tell you it's over. Pride will tell you to walk away. Logic will whisper that it's pointless. But faith, real, rooted, Spirit-led faith, will remind you that God finishes what he starts. And if he authored this connection, if he aligned your paths under divine timing, then he is not done writing the story. You must understand something deep, Anointed One. This is not just about relationship, it's about assignment. There are mantles, missions, and miracles tied to your obedience. If you quit now, you don't just lose a person, you forfeit a purpose. The partnership God orchestrated carries more than emotion. It carries expansion. So even now, when the silence screams, when the distance feels unbearable, lift your eyes higher. Ask yourself, what is heaven doing beneath this? Because while you're feeling the ache, angels are moving. While you're waiting, the divine alignment is unfolding. God is not asleep. He's constructing something precise, something eternal. Chosen one, the reason it feels like everything is shaking is because everything is. Heaven is shifting foundations. The old patterns are breaking so that new oil can flow. You've been asking for increase, but increase always comes through interruption. God interrupts comfort to introduce calling. He shakes the familiar to reveal the eternal. So, let this truth anchor you. The shaking is not the end. It's the beginning of movement. You are being positioned for supernatural transfer. What's about to flow into your life? The resources, the revelation, the restoration, is going to confirm what your spirit already knows. You were never meant to quit. You were chosen to conquer. Hold this close. Your obedience is the bridge between promise and manifestation. Don't drop it now. Heaven is closer than it looks. Chosen one, I feel this deeply. You are standing in the tension between what God promised and what you see. It's that sacred stretch where heaven is silent, but everything in your soul is shouting. You've prayed, you've waited, you've surrendered, and still the situation feels unresolved. But hear me, the silence is not rejection, it's revelation. Heaven often works in hidden places. Just because you don't see motion doesn't mean nothing is moving. The roots of your miracle grow underground before they break the surface. What feels like stillness is strategy. God is fortifying foundations, rearranging hearts, and aligning circumstances that only His wisdom could weave together. The delay is protection, because premature release can destroy what divine timing can perfect. And I get it. I've walked through seasons where God's silence felt like abandonment. I've questioned, did I mishear you? Did I do something wrong? But every single time, His answer came later in ways that left me trembling. The thing I thought He withheld was the thing He was maturing behind the veil. He wasn't saying no, He was saying not yet. Anointed one, I need you to hear this in your spirit. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Every ounce of pressure, every tear, every lonely night is oil being pressed out of your obedience. You're not losing your grip. You're being strengthened for stewardship. Because what God is about to place in your hands, it's not light, it's legacy. This is a divine transfer season, and heaven only entrusts power to those proven by patience. You've been through warfare, financial droughts, emotional exhaustion, yet you're still here, still believing, still expecting. That's not weakness, that's evidence of divine preservation. You could have quit long ago, but something in your spirit refused to bow to defeat. That's the mark of the chosen. And now, heaven is responding. I sense it so clearly. Doors that were shut are about to swing open. People who forgot your name will suddenly remember you. Opportunities that slipped through your fingers are returning, multiplied. The very thing that was withheld is about to be released in fullness. Because your endurance activated the promise. Remember this, when God brings restoration, He doesn't bring it back the same, He brings it back redeemed. What was broken will return whole. What was delayed will return accelerated. What was small will return multiplied. But before release comes refinement. That's what this entire season has been about. Refinement for reign. Chosen one, the person God told you not to give up on, they are part of this transfer. Their awakening is connected to yours. Their healing is tied to your obedience. That's why you can feel their name in your spirit, even when your mind tries to move on. You are both part of a divine blueprint. When your paths first crossed, heaven wasn't introducing you to emotion, it was introducing you to assignment. But that assignment comes with warfare. The enemy's strategy is simple: separate what heaven joined. He'll use confusion, fear, pride, and exhaustion to break what was built under divine instruction. But you are wiser now. You've grown sharper in discernment, steadier in patience, stronger in prayer. This time, you won't be deceived. You know how to recognize the voice of your shepherd. The storm swirling around this connection isn't meant to end it. It's meant to expose what's divine within it. God is calling you to pray differently now, not for comfort, but for clarity. Not for rescue, but for revelation. Because when you start praying from revelation instead of reaction, heaven releases strategies that human effort could never produce. So, Anointed One, I need you to rise in faith right here. Refuse to agree with fear. Refuse to call finished what God is still forming. You've come too far to turn back. This is the part of the story where pressure peaks before breakthrough bursts. Hold the line. Heaven is about to make visible what's been concealed. The divine transfer of power, provision, and partnership is at the door. Stay in alignment. Keep your posture of prayer, because in the next chapter, everything changes. Chosen one, this is the moment to steady your spirit. You've walked through the shaking, the silence, and the sorrow, but now you are stepping into the season of supernatural release. What felt like delay was never denial. Heaven was building something in secret, and now the veil is lifting. I hear it in the spirit. The words, "Now it begins." You've endured the pruning, and pruning always precedes power. The warfare that surrounded your life wasn't proof of weakness, it was proof of weight. The enemy knew something you didn't, that your obedience was birthing breakthrough, that your endurance was unlocking inheritance. Every time you chose to stay faithful instead of bitter, to bless instead of break down, you were aligning with heaven's architecture. Anointed One, God is not just about to restore what was lost. He's about to multiply what remains. The connection you thought was fading, the promise you almost released, the dream you were too weary to pray for, it's all being revived. I've seen this in my own life. The moment I decided to praise God in the place that hurt the most, everything shifted. Not because I forced the outcome, but because praise opened the portal for provision. That's how the supernatural works. Heaven moves through surrender. You see, what's coming to you is more than reconciliation, it's recompense. The time you spent waiting will be redeemed. The resources that dried up will flow again. The doors that slammed shut will reopen with greater purpose. But this time, it won't just be blessing for survival, it will be abundance for stewardship. God is transferring wealth, influence, and opportunity into the hands of those who have been proven trustworthy through pain. And you, chosen one, are one of them. This is your divine wealth transfer season, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. The very areas where you suffered loss are about to overflow. Heaven's economy doesn't run on logic, it runs on obedience. And because you refuse to quit, refuse to let bitterness take root, you've become a candidate for divine increase. But there's a sacred warning here too. Don't give up now. You're too close. You may not see all the fruit yet, but the roots are strong and the soil is shifting. What's underground is about to break through the surface. If you walk away too soon, you'll miss the harvest that your tears have watered. Remember, every tear was a seed, every prayer a down payment, every act of faith an investment in eternity. Chosen one, you were never fighting for a relationship alone, you were fighting for destiny. This connection, this battle, this waiting, it's all tied to a greater story. When the restoration comes, it won't just bless you, it will ripple through generations. That's why it's been so hard. That's why the warfare was so fierce. But now, heaven says, enough. The scales are tipping, the gates are opening, the divine exchange is beginning. Everything the enemy stole, peace, confidence, clarity, provision, is being returned with interest. And the person God told you not to give up on, they are being awakened even now. The same spirit that sustained you through the waiting is moving on their heart. Don't rush it, don't manipulate it. Just stand in faith and watch God do what only He can do. You are entering a season of visible victory, the kind that can't be explained, only witnessed. The kind where people who doubted you will have to testify. Surely, the hand of the Lord was upon them. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are not abandoned. You are anointed for this very moment. So lift your head, anointed one. Speak life over the promise. Prophesy over the ashes. Bless even what feels broken, because from this moment forward, the heavens are shifting in your favor. The divine transfer has already begun, and when it reaches you, it will confirm everything your faith dared to believe. Stay anchored, stay expectant, stay obedient. The breakthrough is not coming, it's here. Chosen one, as we come to the end of this message, feel this truth deep in your spirit. Heaven has already begun to move. The divine transfer is not coming, it has started. The atmosphere around you is shifting. What was delayed is being delivered. What was bound is being broken. You are standing in your Kairos moment, the appointed time where prophecy meets manifestation. Anointed one, God has seen every tear, every silent prayer, every moment you refused to give up when no one understood your faith. That endurance has activated divine release. The door is open, the oil is flowing, and what's being placed in your hands now carries the evidence of heaven's favor. Walk boldly into this new season, knowing that what is yours cannot be stolen, delayed, or denied any longer. So lift your heart in gratitude. Declare, "It is done. I receive it," because the God who began this work in you will perfect it. Every seed you've sown in tears will return as a harvest of joy, abundance, and supernatural alignment. If this word has confirmed something in your spirit, type Amen below as your public declaration of faith. Stay connected, stay grounded, stay ready, because your next chapter has already begun. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and cover you in His peace. Until we meet again, remain faithful, remain expectant, and remember, your story is still unfolding in divine perfection.